So I went and picked up the foam board insulation that I'm going to need for my walls. It's 1 inch thick foam board. It has an R value of 5. So the higher the R value, the more insulation you're going to be able to have in your walls. But the space between the metal studs in the wall is about 1.25 inches to 1.5 inches. So I figured this would fit probably the best in there. The studs kind of wing out a little bit on the sides and cuts down on the amount of space I have a little bit. So I think this 1 inch will fit like right behind there the best. My ceiling is 7 feet tall and these boards are 8 by 4. So I'm gonna have to cut about 1 foot off the top, and then I'm gonna be cutting strips to fit between those studs in the wall. So that's what we're working on today. Cut it down a little bit more. Okay. It's not gonna fall. Nothing ever goes the way you think it's going to. Alright. So I'm gonna have to make them shorter and a little skinnier so that they'll just pretty much just fit right in there, and I can't get them behind this as much, but that's what we're working with. That first piece is in. Now I could kind of go off of those measurements and try and figure out a better way to fit all these in here. Let's try this first. What I've gotten done so far. Got a whole wall here done, and then a small piece here, just kind of using whatever pieces will fit in certain places so I don't waste any. And then I got this part done. So I'm gonna pause for today, and it's gonna be a little bit of an ongoing project. It's pretty windy out today, so I left the back door closed. I'm trying to find the space to work in here to cut the foam. It was a little windy yesterday, but definitely not this bad, and it was tough enough to keep that foam from blowing away. So I'm figuring out how to work on it inside the trailer, and it's actually pretty cozy in here. I got my foam board that I'm working with here, kind of just chipping away at it. So I finished all the insulation for the inside of my trailer. I have to figure out how to do the ceiling now, and then I'm also going to be putting the insulation on the bottom of the trailer. So I didn't insulate the floor because I'm going to insulate it from underneath the floor. I've been working on getting all the insulation on the ceiling put up. I'm just about done now. I tried to use as many small pieces as I could just so that I limit the amount of waste, because each sheet of the foam boarding is about $25. I just measured and fit this triangle piece. And it's the only piece in the trailer that has the branding on the side. Perfect. So while I have those two pieces, I used them to make a template here. I measured about an inch here in the middle for that one support in the front, and then just took the two triangles, traced them out so that when I go to do the countertop in the front of that trailer, I'll have a template to be able to cut that piece of board out. So it's become time for me to crawl under the trailer and take some measurements so I can try and insulate the bottom of the floor. So this is fun. This ranger, he's gonna help me. He thinks it's fun that I'm under here. Alright, no, buddy, you can't think it would. Okay, I love you. Ah, okay, I'm not sure. I mean, this edge needs to come off too. Just send it. And we'll try and put some glue on here. Let's try to put it. Oh shoot. Okay. So we got the first piece up in here. I'm trying to hold it here so that the liquid nails will bond to the floor. Just finished putting all the insulation on the bottom of the trailer, and I'm glad because I don't want to be under here anymore. Today I'm working on putting up like what I like to call framing in here. It's gonna be boards that go across the wall. I'm gonna put them, they're 3-inch boards, so I cut a bunch of these 3-inch boards, and then I'm gonna anchor them to the metal studs on the wall, 3 inches from the floor, 3 inches from the ceiling. And then I'm gonna have shiplap the first half of my wall, and then wooden beadboard on the bottom part of my wall. So I'm gonna put these planks also where those two parts of the wall are gonna meet. So that gives me something to anchor the siding to. So I can use like a nail gun and then just put the siding on there. It also gives me about, I think this is like 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, something like that, of space between the wall and the panels that I'm putting on the wall, so that I have space in the wall to put my wires through. So when I wire up my lights and everything else in the trailer, I'll have room between there that I can run the wires through. I got some of these wood to metal self-tapping screws, so I think this should give me a good amount here. I'm gonna put it through the wood and then into the metal stud, and hopefully that won't be too difficult, and then they'll be anchored on there pretty easily. Got a lot done today. I was able to finish all the trim or framing that I wanted to do on the walls, so I'm really happy about that, because now I can put the wiring in the walls and start putting everything up, and it'll look so much better in here. I'm so excited.